Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Were you wondering where I was? I wish I could show you right now the piles all around me because I am getting the rest of the things together to launch my BOGO sale. And I was grouping ribbon and I went, oh my gosh, I'm late. So here I am. So it looks like I'm in the right spot and you can hear me. That's fun. Awesome. So I'm going to give everyone just a couple of minutes to find me since they may have been here and left already. Hi, Julie. Welcome. Happy Friday. So we are going to create with this absolutely adorable Warmest Wishes bundle today. I have two really cute cards. I use this layout a lot and I thought it would be really cute with this card, so we're going to make it again. I kind of cased myself on this one and I will show you the original and then I will show you how to make this card. So I'm going to give everyone just a minute to find me here. Happy Friday to you as well, Julie. Okay, so today we will create using the Warmest Wishes bundle, which is out of the current holiday catalog. Look how very cute this set is. Some really neat ideas here. I don't know what it is about this set, but I think it's just so adorable with the little thermoses, and the dies are really fun. So I kept it pretty basic when I used the dies, and then I used just the stamps over here. So we will play a little bit with this, but there's some really adorable little stamps in here and little coordinating dies. So you can see that anything that is white has a coordinating die to cut out those images. So this is really fun with the small images so that you can cut them out, and it's only $40.50 for this whole bundle. So it's a really nice price. So let me grab, I thought the card that I cased was in here, but I must have left it on my desk. So let me grab that while I'm waiting for everyone to jump on. All right. So I've given everyone just a couple of minutes, so I think we should probably get started since we're running behind today. So for those of you who are waiting for your product shares from the holiday catalog, I sent out all the shares that I can send out that are not still waiting for back-ordered product to come in. The great news is what is going to be available before October 1st has come in and I've been able to order it. So now I'm just waiting for it to arrive and I have everything ready to go. So as soon as that product comes, I will quickly prep it and turn your packages around. So you should have received a shipping notice from me if your package went out yesterday. And if not, it probably means that you're waiting on an embellishment share because those are the things that I was waiting on. Some of the items weren't going to be available until October 1st. And if you had one of those items, I substituted a different product for you so that you didn't have to keep waiting for your items. Okay. So that's always exciting. A couple of announcements. So you heard me talking about my BOGO sale. I have been working on getting my BOGO Facebook page albums updated with some more recent products that I hadn't put in there yet so that I could open this up. So I am super close to earning the Stampin' Up! Incentive trip for the year. And so I'm going to do my BOGO sale as my last hurrah, hoping that it will put me over earning the incentive trip. So this is something I do for my customers where I give them my retired products when they make a purchase of equal value in my online store. So the way the BOGO sale will work, there's a private Facebook group. This is the private Facebook group. It's Mels Inky Fingers BOGO group. If you would like to browse my albums, you're going to need to request to join this group. I will admit you into the group and you can shop the albums. The albums are labeled and you can go into whatever albums have products that you're interested in. And when you see something that you like, you comment sold on the picture, and I keep that for you. Then when you're all done shopping, you're going to go to a Google form and tell me how much dollar value the items had that you wanted. And that's the amount that you will go to my online store and order. And then once you place that online order, I will give you the items listed on my BOGO group free. Yes, I just give them to you as my gift for being my customer. And if you're not local and can't pick it up, you do need to cover the shipping. I can't also pay for shipping when I'm giving you the items, but I will package everything up nicely for you and ship it off to you, and then you can enjoy it. So some of the items are brand new, some of them are gently used, some of the ribbons and embellishments are partial pack, some of them are full pack, some are unopened. It's a variety, but there's everything under the sun, hundreds of things in my BOGO group. So I will send out a newsletter and put a post here in my group when the BOGO opens. I've been trying to get it ready around getting product shares and another big event ready. But I do have to get it open soon because I have to earn the incentive trip by the end of the month. So, so I hope you join my group and shop with me. I will be very grateful, and you will need to use a host code to place that order. So stay tuned here. I'll get all the information up when it's ready. Okay. The World Card Making Day event. This is an event that Stampin' Up! Is providing. It's free. It's very fun. It's an afternoon of crafting plus a sneak peek using that adorable bundle that I used last week. If you joined me, you saw some really cute cards with a bundle that Stampin' Up! Will be creating projects with. So Earth and Elegance, Circle Sayings, and Heartfelt Hexagon. Those are the 3 bundles that they're going to use. If you would like to join this event, I will, if you click on the Shop Now button here on this page, it's the blue button at the top of my Facebook page, it will take you to the Stampin' Up! Store, and you will have a screen there that you can click on to register for this event. Stampin' Up! Will send you all the information. If you would like to prepare your supplies ahead of time, it's all listed and ready for you. And again, there's no cost. It's free. So join the fun for the day. It's October 7th. All right, so now let's get to creating. And if you have any questions today while we're working about the World Card Making Day event or my BOGO sale, please just ask. I'm happy to answer, but there is a little bit of a lag from the live when you post your comments. So if it's towards the end and I miss it, please just tag me and ask it again, and I'll see that, okay? So this Warmest Heart bundle is really cute. There's some fun dies that make neat backgrounds or details on this little thermos that's really kind of creative. And I made 2 projects for you today. Now, the first one, I cased myself. So here's the project that I'm going to show you how to make. It's very cute with these little sunshines in the background. And here is the project that I had previously created that I cased myself, and it uses one of my favorite background stamps. So let me bring in my supplies here, and we'll talk about what we're going to use to make this project. All right. So I used a background of Lemon Lolly, which is one of our new colors that were added to our color line with the color revamp in our catalog. So this is a Lemon Lolly card base cut 4 1/4 by 11, and I have it scored at 5 1/2. And then this is a 4 by 5 1/4 inch Lemon Lolly layer that I'm going to add to the very front. Then you're going to want some other pieces. So you're going to want to punch a Lemon Lolly decorative circle with a decorative circle punch. This is one of my favorites. I use it a ton. I really do. And then you're going to take a 2-inch circle punch. These are in the online store. and you're going to punch a basic white circle, and that's going to layer really nicely with this decorative circle. Okay, so you'll want both these punches, the decorative circle and the 2-inch circle. Then you will want a strip, just a scrap strip, at least a 1/2 inch wide of basic white for your sentiment. And you will want a little scrap of a contrast color to make the little hearts. Now this is Flirty Flamingo, but you could make it a blue, a green, a lighter pink, a darker pink, whatever you would like. Okay. For ink, I'm going to use Lemon Lolly and Memento Black. And then my embellishments are this beautiful new iridescent white ribbon out of the holiday catalog, and I love it because it literally changes colors. Does it not now look yellow when it's up against this? Maybe, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but in person it looks like it turns yellow. But you can color this with Stampin' Blends to make it other colors too. And then I'm going to tie it. You know my little trick I like to do with tying my ends of my ribbon. I'm going to use some of my silver Simply Elegant trim. And then these really cool glitter dots. They're called Adhesive Back Glitter Sequins. These are out of the holiday catalog as well. So that's what we're going to use today to create our project. So you can substitute different ribbon or different embellishments if you have them. So let's start with some stamping. So the first thing I'm going to do is create my background layer to put on my card. And to do that, I'm going to use Rays of Light. This is probably one of my favorite background stamps that we've had in a while. So let's take this out, and you could put it, there's a big block that you can put this on. Sometimes I just like to lay it on my work surface. I don't know how well it will stick to the paper. But these big stamps like this, I like to put my ink to stamp instead of the stamp to the ink. I think it's a little easier to get good distribution of your ink, although it has a distressed feel to it already, as you can see. See how it's kind of distressed? So you don't necessarily have to have perfect coverage. And then I'm just going to put this layer down. You don't want to move it. And then I like to take a acrylic block and just rub over it. And then you know that all of your stamp has ink on it. And I just realized, look, I didn't wet my chamois. I have a dry chamois. So we're just going to set dirty stamps off to the side for now. And if we have to use one more than once, oh well. We'll wing it. Now I'm going to add this to my card front with some dimensionals. And this will be my background layer, okay? That'll be on my card front. So if you ever get in a creative rut and you just can't seem to pull out a project that you're happy with, I find that pulling out one of my own creations that I enjoy is a nice way to get you going again. So I pulled out that card that I've cased for this, and it kind of jump-started me because I kept creating all different things, and I just wasn't loving what I was coming up with. And here are some of the things that I made. Look at, I had it just on a plain background. Then where did that other piece go? There was another layer in here that had a die cut. I must have dropped it somewhere. Oh, here it is. It fell out of the case. Then I used these really cute, I forget what these dies are called, but look how fun that is to put that decorative edge around there. That would actually be really cute. You could do that. And I stamped the sun. So I was trying different things until I came up with something that I was finally happy with. But that's always a nice way to get yourself going if you're struggling with your creating. So now let's create our little focal point for the front of our card. I'm going to use this adorable little sunshine, and there is a die to die cut this. So if you wanted to add even more detail to your card, you could stamp these and then die cut them and pop them up on your card, and that would be very cute as well. So I'm going to create a little bit of a monochromatic look here with my Lemon Lolly. So let me get something to protect my work surface so you're not looking at little little sunshines. So I'm going to take this sun and I'm going to look to see where the face is. And I'm going to kind of put this in a spot where you'll be able to see it. And then once I do that, I'm just going to randomly stamp the rest of my surface. And you could spin it if you wanted to change the direction of the face. All right, and then this is my little trick that I like to do with my ribbon. So you could tie a little bow around here if you wanted, or you could do this. You could have the bow kind of off to the side if you wanted, or you could just have tails like I'm creating. So I didn't angle that very well. Let's do that again. There we go. So this is some of this beautiful iridescent ribbon out of the holiday catalog, and it's currently still available. So the catalog has been incredibly popular, and so a lot of the items have already sold out, and some are already coming back in stock. So if you see something that you like in that catalog, I'm not sure I would wait, because I don't know how many times Stampin' Up! Will continue to stock things. Because once we kind of get beyond the season of an item, they don't want to restock it, obviously, because it's kind of beyond the season. And I don't know how late into that catalog they will keep restocking, especially since they've already had a couple restocks. So snatch up what you love. All right, so I tied the bow with this is the Simply Elegant trim. This comes with a silver and a gold in one pack. So thank you, Julie. So Julie answered my question about these dies. So I really like these dies, and I hadn't used them in a while, so I put them on here. You can see how that would look if you put that on the front here. They're called Whimsical Stitched Dies, she said. They're out of the annual catalog. So see how cute that would look if you kind of added that extra layer to the front. It's really a fun look. They don't cut out shapes. They just add stitching detail to your card front. And they come in different sizes. There's several different sizes in the set. Oh my goodness, someone has just turned on the music in my basement. The beauty of remote. Hold on a second. Let me find out what's going on. I have whoever's music is on. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I'm live. Please turn it off. Please turn it off. I'm on a live. Oh, no. Sorry about that. The beauty of having all these remote things in our house now. Sometimes they don't always turn on in the space where you want them. So my husband was trying to put some background music on upstairs while he's doing some work, and the app decided to turn it on in my space instead of his. And as he's trying to get it to work, he's turning up the volume, which is just making it louder here. So I'm so sorry. So now I'm just adding this decorative circle onto the card front. And now I'm going to add this stamped circle over the decorative circle punch. Okay, so I'm going to layer this right over the ribbon. Just like that, okay? So now we have that cute little focal point on the front of our card. So now I'm going to set this aside and work on some of the other little accents that are going to be on the project. So I have this scrap strip of basic white that I'm going to stamp this sentiment. So the sentiment is a linear sentiment. It says, "You warm my heart." So I thought, how cute would that be to put a little heart on the project with that sentiment. So we're going to stamp this in black, and then I'm just going to trim this into parts and pieces because it's fun to do that. And you can use your paper trimmer or something else, scissors, whatever you want. And then I'm just going to kind of trim it down to size a little bit so that I don't have a lot of white space around it. So it's quick and easy with your scissors. All right, and then these will, whoops, I cut that a little crooked. Then these will be put on my card with some dimensionals kind of over these cute little, can you see those adorable little sunshine images? Isn't that fun? I don't know if that's picking up or not, if the light is picking that up very good for you, but it's really cute. So you warm my heart. Cute? Yes? So let's take some dimensionals and pop these up. I'm going to start with the "my" and kind of put that in the center because that will help line up everything else. And then the "you warm." I'm kind of missing the music now. What do you think? I have no idea what it even was. Oh my goodness, always something, right? Always something. I think he forgot it was Friday too, because he wasn't hearing me when I was saying, "I'm on my live, please turn off the music." He's like, "What? I'm trying to get it." I'm like, "No, it's on down here." What? All right, so here is our cute little sentiment. Okay, so last but not least, I wanted to add some cute little hearts to this, and I wanted it to be a little pop of color. So I turned to the old trusty Give It a Whirl dies. Now these dies are easy to not notice in the catalog because they don't have a coordinating stamp set. They're what we call a standalone die. And it's for making interactive cards where you can have these cute little spinning wheels on the end, which would be adorable with this little sunshine. And there's actually a lot of dies in here, but what I love most about these dies is the stars, the hearts, and these clouds. I use them a ton. And so I thought it would be cute to use this little heart and this little heart, and it's got the cute stitched detail. So we're just going to die cut these. I have my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine here. So we're just going to run these through real quick. These would also go fit in the mini. So if you have your mini cut and emboss machine nearby, you could always put them through with that. And boy, this little scrap that I grabbed, I sure wasn't very generous with myself, but it just fits. So I think we're good. So here we go. All right, so now we're going to take this and kind of tuck this. I'll just put a little bit of adhesive there and kind of tuck this underneath like that. And then I'll put a little tiny dimensional. Let's see if this fits. put a little tiny dimensional underneath here. And layer this. So there's our card. Okay. And then last but not least, let's decorate the front, and then I have a cute little something for the inside. So these come in 3 different colors, and each color has 2 different sizes. So they're really, really fun. And you can sprinkle these however you want. I do like to layer like this. You could put the green on there. The green would be cute too for little pops of color, or the blue. The blue would be fun. And put it there. There's your project. What do you think? Isn't that cute? I love that little sunshine. This is such a cute set. So, Warmest Heart. Oh, I didn't show you the inside. Let me show you what I have for the inside. So, on the inside, I wanted to take the little sunshine, and I wanted it to be like a little, just a little note card. So I wanted to leave this open to write my note. So I'm going to take the sunshine stamp and stamp it in the corner. And it adds just a little something down there. And then there's these little sentiments. You can do either get well soon or thanks. But I like this thanks. And I'm just going to stamp it like that. And now you have that cute little accent inside your card. So you have space inside to write your note. So that card's done. Okay. So ready for the next one? The next one's really fun too. All right, I wanted to make it kind of girly with bright colors so you get the contrast of the soft colors, and now you have these bright bold colors on here. But again, still a really easy project to create. So to create this project, I used a Melon Mambo card base, and this is a standard card base cut 5.5 by 8.5 and scored at 4 1/4. Then you're going to want scraps of other things for your parts and pieces. So I have a piece of basic white, which I'm going to cut my front layer with, and then I'm going to use this really pretty checked pattern from the Glorious Gingham Designer Series paper pack. Now this is out of the annual catalog. It comes with all these colors. There's a bigger check on one side and the tiny little check on the other. And I really like this blueberry bushel. So I have a piece of blueberry bushel for my thermos, and then a coordinating piece, whatever color pattern paper you use, you'll want a coordinating color of cardstock, because I'm going to layer it behind this die cut layer that I'm going to create. Okay. Then you will want just a scrap of white so that you can create your front accent. So let's start by creating our card base. And I think I'm going to go one size smaller just for fun than I did on my sample. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a layer with these deckled rectangle dies. So these are in the annual catalog. We have coordinating circles in the holiday catalog, but these are a nice staple to have. Instead of it just being plain, you get this kind of cool edge on your project, which is fun. Just adds another element of interest instead of just being a plain straight line. You kind of know how I feel about plain straight lines, right? We talk about that a lot. So there is my layer. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere it to this coordinating piece of cardstock. And this is a little trick. When you don't have a regular sized layer, this is how I like to create a layer for it. So I'm just going to put some Tombow glue, some multi-purpose glue on there so I can move it and get it exactly where I want it. And then I will put this down in a corner, kind of like that. Okay, so now it's adhered in place. Now I'm going to put it in my trimmer, and you could use any paper trimmer that you have, and I'm just going to be brave and cut it. It's just paper, and if it's not exactly how you want it, you can make another one, right? Don't be afraid to cut it. It's just paper, okay? You're not going to hurt anything. And here is my layer. So that's going to add that little extra pop of color that will contrast with the card base. And I went one size down so that I had a little more background showing, because I decided after I made it I really liked how the background looked. So let's put this together. So to start with, we're going to do a little bit of stamping. So I'm going to use this adorable flower, not only as the focal point on the front of the card, but I'm going to help pull it together by putting it in my background. And I want it to be soft and kind of subtle. So I chose a color that you may not have thought of using on this card, which is Smoky Slate. And the Smoky Slate is going to add a little detail. And surprisingly, when you stamp this on the Melon Mambo, it almost takes on a purple, like a purplish hue. And I want this to just be on part of the card. So I'm not going to stamp this everywhere. I'm just going to kind of put it around the edges, and I'm going to rotate how this falls on the card so that it's doesn't look too much the same everywhere. Okay, now let's see if I have enough of that covered. I do. Yes, I like how that looks. So we're going to leave it at that. All right. So now I'm going to do some stamping and some coloring on this. So I'm just going to set my card base aside for a moment, and I'm going to add my sentiment across the bottom. And it's going to be that same sentiment that we used on the previous You Warm My Heart, because it's a little thermos, right? So like it's just a really cute sentiment. So I'll kind of, whoops, this isn't inked well. I need to re-ink my ink pad. So I'll add this here. You Warm My Heart. So cute. And now, so this background isn't too plain, I'm going to do a couple of things. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my Wink of Stella, and this is a brand new Wink of Stella that I have out here at my recording desk, so I'm a little nervous that I don't make a mess doing this. Let's see. So I'm going to splatter. Let me get a little paint down in here. Actually, I guess it got swapped. This is my very old one. So there's no paint left in it. Okay, well, there's a little in there. So I want a little bit of Wink of Stella in the background. And then I'm going to take my light Blueberry Bushel Stampin' Blends and add a little bit of color splatter as well. And I don't want it everywhere. I just want a little bit of it just to add some interest in the background. Now, while that Wink of Stella dries, I'm just going to set that aside, and let's work on the rest of our pieces. So now I'm going to pull out some black ink. I want black ink. And I'm going to stamp my thermos image. So I'm going to stamp this thermos image, and I'm going to stamp it on the Designer Series paper, and then I'm going to cut it out with the coordinating dies, and hopefully this pad is inked. If not, I can pull the other one out. I have two of them here, but I think maybe it's okay. So there's our thermos, very cute. And I'm going to stamp it a second time because I'm going to die cut the lid and pop that lid up. So I'm going to re-ink it a second time and just do the top part here. And stamp it right here. Okay. So now in this die set, like I had mentioned, there are coordinating dies for a lot of the pieces in this set, including this big thermos. So let's pull out the coordinating die, and I'm going to die cut this twice. Now, if you wanted to just die cut a thermos, you could do that, and there's also some embossed detail on there, but I thought it was cute to have this fun pattern. So let me put this through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and get this cut out. And then after I cut out the thermos, I'm going to take this die and turn it around and cut out this top. Okay. And that's going to create a second little layer. You could have it be something coordinating, so if you wanted to make it a contrasting color, or if you wanted to have it be blueberry bushel cardstock, you could do something a little different if you wanted, but I kind of liked it looking the same. Now for this bottom, I'm just going to take my paper snips and just trim along the bottom like that. And then we have our second little piece that'll go up like that. And then we're going to put that piece on with dimensionals so that it actually, I think I'm going to cut it a little closer to this line. Yes, I like that. Okay. And then we'll just line this right up over the top. And see how those stamped lines line up really nicely? Okay, and then we'll put a couple dimensionals on the back of this and put it on our card front. And hopefully that's dry. I'm not going to flip it over though. I'll put my dimensionals down here on this. And then that way, if that Wink Estella isn't quite dry yet, it won't smear. So isn't that cute how those flowers just kind of pop out? It's kind of like, reminded me of like girl power. Isn't that cute? A little girl in her thermos. So we'll offset this a little bit, and yep, I left room, I think, for that. Oops, I didn't peel the backs off. Aha, let's do that. There we go. All right. So now we're going to use a little bit of the silver twine that we used on the last project. And I'm actually going to tie a bow right around this thermos. So there's a little trick for this. Oops. Little trick for this twine. I don't know if I've ever showed this to you. So let's see if I can get this to stay nice, and if not, I'll show you my trick. It looks like it's staying pretty good. All right. So we're just going to turn this to the side. Okay. So now we'll take a scrap of the white. I think there might be enough space here. And we will stamp that flower again. Nope, maybe not. That's all right. I brought another scrap just for this. So let's stamp our flower. Stamp a second one in case I don't like the coloring on the first one. And then I'll use a couple of Stampin' Blends. You could use watercolor pencils. You could use whatever you wanted. You could use pastels. There's so many different options. So I'm going to keep it really simple and just color in my leaves with the, this is the light Granny Apple Green. Yes, light Granny Apple Green. Hi, Polly. Oh, I'm glad you were able to jump on. How are you? Thanks for joining today. All right, and then I'll color some pink flowers, and this will coordinate with my card base. So this is the light Melon Mambo, and you could do some shading on this if you wanted. I'm just keeping it really simple, and I'm not doing any shading. I'm just coloring in these little images. They're very cute. And then I'm going to take the coordinating die from this really cute little Warmest heart die set. It has this little open die here that cuts out this image just like that. So I'm going to take a little piece of Post-it tape and hold that in place and run it through my die cutting machine. And then this little focal point will go right on the front of my thermos like this. Isn't that adorable? So let's put a couple of dimensionals on this, one way up here and one way down here, because I don't want it to overlap on this cord. Then it will wiggle. Cute? Yes? No? And then last but not least, I'm going to use some iridescent pearls. These are out of the annual catalog, and I like to color white embellishments. You can see that I was kind of playing around a little bit. I already have a yellow one covered, so I'm going to use my dark Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to color a big one because I already have a little one here. So I want 2 yellow flower centers to go right on this adorable die cut piece. So I will put a little one on this little flower, and then I will put one of the bigger size pearls, whoops, on the bigger flower. And then I'm going to let this be a note card just like the previous card. So let's do the same thing. Let's open it up. And I'm going to take some Blueberry Bushel ink. And let's see, since I don't have my, to clean off my stamp, I'll just kind of do that. And let's put this down in the corner and get some black ink. And type things here, or type stamp, sorry. And there is the cute little thermos card. Isn't that cute? So you can see I used a one size smaller front layer. So which do you like better? Do you like more of the little flowers showing in the background or less? Which one do you like? There's our cards for today. Thanks, Polly. I'm glad you like it. Isn't this thermos adorable? And here is the first card we made. Oh, thanks. Here we go. Here's what we made today. So I hope you liked seeing this bundle. It really is so cute. I was having fun with it. Once I got rolling last night, I have some other ideas too that I thought would make super cute cards with this. So I may have to get busy and make some more. And I'll share them. Maybe I can offer a class with this adorable bundle, right? So here is your bundle, and here are your projects. So that's all I have for you today. So sorry I was late. So don't forget to be watching for all the details for my BOGO sale. And again, make sure you request to join this Facebook group if you would like to shop my BOGO sale. The information should be up shortly. I was hoping to get it up last week, but I just didn't because I received a lot of the back ordered items for the product shares, and I wanted to get those out to you if you were waiting. So BOGO group will go up in the next couple of days, and don't forget to register for the Stampin' Up! Free World Card Making Day event. And you can find the link for the World Card Making Day event if you click on the blue Shop Now tab at the very top of my page here. That will take you to my online store where you can shop with the current host code, or you can register for World Card Making Day. All right. Now, if you want to join this BOGO group, that's here on Facebook. I will put the link for this group on Facebook when I'm ready to open up the sale. So you will browse the albums, select all the items you want. They're all listed at the catalog price. And then once you've selected everything you want, you add up the amount, and you will go to my online store and place an order with the BOGO host code. And then I give you all these items from my Facebook group free. It's an amazing deal. It's something I offer for my customers as a thank you, okay? All right, so I hope you all have a great weekend and have something fun to look forward to. And I will look forward to seeing everyone next week. Bye, everybody.